When does he plunge into that? Is that like tonight he'll start, or in the morning he'll just get going?
Well, yeah, it's a good question, because that's the analog of the Romney situation. And, you know, some people would argue, and I suppose most Republicans would argue, President Obama's been in full campaign mode for a month or so now. What's the difference? But there is a difference. You know, most of what the president has done has been in the context of official presidential duties. He goes out and talks about the Buffett rule yesterday, for example, goes to a swing state, Florida, but it's in the context of pushing for a bill in Congress to pass a Buffett rule that raises taxes on the very wealthy, on people who make $1 million plus every year. At some point, you have to drop the pretense, if you're an incumbent president, and actually start separating your presidential travel from your campaign travel. And I think they're close to the point where they realize they need to do that. Because even if everybody agrees there's not much governing that's going to happen in Washington in this general election year, you have to separate at some point your pure campaign activities from your presidential activities, so that you're not accused of mixing the two way too much. And they're close to that.
Now, Jerry, it's what, 7 months to the election. That's a long, long haul, over half a year listening to these two candidates go back and forth. Can we just boil it down now? I mean, economy and jobs and healthcare, like, is that where we're at on the two issues, or am I missing something?
Well, I think your economy, jobs, and the Obama people are going to try to throw economic fairness in on that mix. And the Obama people will be happy to talk about healthcare in the economy context. So, yeah, that's pretty much what it all is. And I think the two different visions are you know, pretty clear also. The Republican view is, as Mitt Romney has been saying in speeches, that the Obama effort is to basically socialize the economy, not quite in those stark terms, but to create a government-centered society, a society in which government plays too big a role in what everybody's doing in business and in the economy, but in general. And the Democratic counter to that is going to be that the Romney vision of the economy is, let's take it back to where it was before the Great Recession of 2008 hit. Let's revisit all those Bush economic policies, and let's create an even less fair system for the people in the middle class, in which people at the top benefit from particularly tax policies, and people at the bottom still have some kind of a safety net, but all those middle class voters are suffering and are in the same squeeze they've been in for the last decade. Those are the two visions, and that's essentially what this campaign is going to be about.
Jerry, if we could hit the snooze button on the campaign and maybe just pick up for the last month, I think most Americans would be pretty happy about that.
You know, you're trying to take me out of a job here, Dennis. That's
yeah, we like to talk to Jerry, Dennis.
We love talking to Jerry.
We love talking to Jerry, and he always has
so
great
you're thinking
stuff
of the campaign as a make-work program for journalists, Dennis.
Well, actually, yeah, it's probably about right. But yeah, Jerry's one of the best. So we look forward to 6 months of it.
6 months of Jerry.
By the way, everything I said is subject to change as soon as oil prices go to $200 a barrel, or there's an Israeli military strike against Iran, or the European economy really goes down the tank and takes the U.S. stock market with it.